Alina had always been careful, careful with her heart, careful with her trust, careful not to let anyone see the faint shadows of old pain still hidden beneath her skin. At 28, she worked the late shift at a quiet jazz lounge on the edge of the city, pouring drinks for strangers who lingered too long on the way her black dress followed her curves. She told herself the attention didn't bother her. It was easier than letting someone get close enough to hurt her again. Then Victor walked in. He didn't speak at first. He simply sat at the far end of the bar, coat still on, rain glistening on the collar, watching her with eyes so dark they seemed to pull in every bit of light around him. When he finally spoke, his voice was low and smooth, carrying an edge that made her pulse jump. "You're trembling," he said, as though he could feel it from across the room. "Why?" She gave the easy answer. "It's cold." He smiled slow, knowing, dangerously beautiful. Liar. That night he waited until the bar closed. When she stepped into the alley to lock up, he was already there, leaning against the brick wall like he belonged to the darkness itself. Before she could say a word, he stepped closer. One hand gently cupped the back of her neck, his thumb brushing the racing beat beneath her jaw. "I've watched you for weeks," he murmured, his breath warm against her skin. "Every time someone looks at you like they want to claim you, something changes in your eyes. You fight it." And yet, he didn't finish the sentence. Instead, he kissed her slow at first, careful, then deeper, more urgent, until her knees felt weak and she had to hold onto his coat to stay steady. When he drew back, his forehead rested against hers. "Tell me to leave, Alina. One word and I'm gone." Every instinct told her to say it. Instead, she whispered, "Don't." The sound he made was low and raw, like she had just unlocked something he had kept chained for years. Their first real moment happened in his car, sleek and black, parked in the private garage beneath his building. Rain pounded the roof as he pulled her close. His hands were steady, sure, guiding her until she was in his lap. The world narrowed to the heat of his body against hers, the way his touch made her forget how to breathe. He looked into her eyes the entire time, never letting her look away. His voice was rough with want. "You've been waiting for this, haven't you?" "Yes," she admitted, the word trembling between them. He moved with deliberate care, drawing soft gasps from her, building the tension until she was shaking, clinging to him. When the wave finally crashed over her, it left her breathless, heart pounding against his chest. He followed soon after, holding her tightly as if he would never let go. Afterward, he kept her close, one hand stroking her hair while her breathing slowly returned to normal. "You're mine now," he said quietly, almost gently. "And I protect what belongs to me. From that night on, their connection deepened into something slow and consuming. He brought her to his penthouse, high above the city, windows framing the glittering lights below, and treated her like something rare and fragile. He explored her with kisses that lingered, learning every sigh, every shiver, until she was trembling again, pleading in whispers. In his bed, he held her wrists lightly above her head, moving with a rhythm that felt both gentle and commanding. His voice stayed low against her ear, murmuring words that made her heart race. You feel like everything I've ever wanted. I could stay like this forever. No one else will ever touch you. When the intensity finally broke, she felt something inside her shift, claimed, cherished, terrified, and alive all at once. The danger was never far away. Late night calls that made his jaw tighten. Men in dark suits waiting downstairs. A faint scar across his ribs he refused to explain. But every time the shadows pressed closer, he returned to her with a hunger that felt almost desperate, pulling her into his arms, holding her against windows, pressing her to counters, bending her over furniture, until the rest of the world disappeared and only they remained. Alina knew she should walk away. She knew the darkness in him could swallow her whole. But every time he looked at her like she was the only light he had ever known. Every time he held her so tightly, she forgot her own fears. She chose to stay. Because in his arms, under the weight of his quiet control, she finally felt free.